Alright, so this video has a somewhat dramatic title to it, but there's an element of truth to it, and in this video, I will explain, or at least I'll try to. So, I've been in Nigeria now for over 3 weeks, going on 1 month, and sometimes when I'm just here, I enjoy coming back home, seeing my family, being around friends and family, and all that stuff, being around familiar faces, familiar language, culture, and food. But it comes a time when I'm just feel like, you know what, it's time to go. And this is one of the reasons why I do not attempt to purchase a round trip ticket for anywhere that I go because one, I may enjoy the place more than I thought I would, or maybe I'm just not feeling it and I just have to get out as fast as possible. So I keep my flight plan pretty open, and the same thing applied when I came to Nigeria this time. I've been in Nigeria for about 3 times in the last 1.5 years, and this time is no different. I just kept my ticket open, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a ticket whenever I'm ready to leave, and I am kind of feeling like I'm ready to leave now. I'm looking at flight tickets out of Nigeria, flying anywhere. It doesn't matter where I'm trying to go. Of course, I want to go back to Albania, spend New Year's there with some of my friends there, and I am looking at the flights right now. So what you're looking at here on my screen are flights out of Nigeria to Tirana, Albania for December 31st on Saturday. Now I know I'm shooting this video, it's only 2 weeks away from the time when I plan to go out, and if I want better deals, I should have been looking weeks in advance, but I've only got 2 weeks here, and I'm looking at flights, and this has been going on not just today. I've been looking at this flight for about a week now, and nothing has seemed to change. And I'm looking at his flights from Nigeria to Tirana, and these flights are in Naira, the Nigerian Naira, but let me attempt to change the currency to USD so we can all have a better sense of what I'm looking at. So if I change this to US dollars, if I'm flying out of Nigeria, it will cost me about $1,573 to fly from Nigeria to Tirana, and that's if I'm trying to go through Addis Ababa and Italy. Now, if I'm looking for a one-stop flight, that's gonna take me about 12 hours, about 13 hours, which is pretty good. I'm looking to pay about $2,000 for the same flight, 1,991. Now, there's a reason for all of this, and I will attempt to explain this video. Now, what I find very jarring is that if I'm looking at the same flight outside, going out of Accra, Ghana for the same day, let me put the currency in dollars so we can just try to rationalize these things as we go. So right now, the same flight out of Ghana, not the same airline, but the same route, from Accra, Ghana to Tirana, Albania, cost $569 and $698 respectively for 2 stops and 1 stop. So if I want to go through 1 stop, that's gonna be about 17 hours. Have a stop in Dubai. It's gonna cost me about $700. Now the same route, that's gonna be about 14 hours, about 13-14 hours. It's gonna cost me, if I'm trying to fly out of Nigeria, it's gonna cost me $2,000. So that's almost 3 times more when I fly out of Ghana versus when I fly out of Nigeria. Now, this is something I've struggled with, trying to make sense of. And there's a reason why this is happening. And this is why, it's very important when you come into Nigeria, you need to, look at the times when you want to come, because flying out of Nigeria right now is the most expensive it's ever been. So you're paying 3 times more to fly out of Nigeria versus flying out of Ghana. So that is, the reason why I want to make this video, just to bring your attention to what's going on here. And the reason for this is because airlines are finding it really, really hard right now to operate or to do business from Nigeria. For example, Emirates Airline just pulled out about a month ago without any solid reason other than the government is making it really hard for them to operate from here. And that's putting a lot of strain on travel for a lot of citizens. People want to travel through Dubai because Emirates is one of the cheapest airlines you can get, from Nigeria to anywhere in the world. And that is a really big problem for anyone who's traveling from Nigeria, including myself. And if you look at the same price tickets in Ghana, it's really crazy to think that you have to pay 3 times more just because you want to fly out of Nigeria. So here's what I'm doing to combat the situation. I will be flying to Accra, Ghana on the 24th of December. I'll be flying to Accra, Ghana, and I will be flying out of Accra, Ghana, rather than do it from Nigeria. And that, is going to save me a lot of money. I mean, we're talking about over $1,000 in fares. Of course, it's going to cost me about $300 to fly to Accra, Ghana, which if we still had that $300 with $700 flying from Accra, Ghana, it's going to come up to about $1,000, which is still about $900 less than what I would pay if I were flying out of Nigeria. And being the fact that I've never been to Ghana, so this is the first time I'm actually going to Accra, Ghana, and it's going to be an opportunity for me to go to Accra, spend time with my friends, and coincidentally, my friends are also going to planning to spend Christmas in Accra, Ghana, and we'll be there together. And this just makes a lot of strategic sense, financially and just from a travel standpoint. So this is just one thing that's that's been going on for a long time, traveling out of Nigeria versus traveling from elsewhere. It's really crazy because one, the government doesn't make it easy to travel from here, with the taxes, the fuel situation. Getting jet fuel in Nigeria is really hard, and airlines have been finding it very difficult to operate from Nigeria, and a lot of people are going through this. And I just wanted to take this video to shed a light on it. Whether you're Nigerian or you're planning to travel into Nigeria or out of Nigeria, this is some of the things that you will be going through, and it's really sad to see this kind of things happening, but this is the real situation. And one thing you can do is to fly into other African countries like Ghana, for example, and fly from Ghana. And I also realized that traveling from Cote d'Ivoire, from Ivory Coast, in other words, is actually cheaper than flying from Ghana, because there's other airlines who actually operate to Cote d'Ivoire, and you can actually go through Dubai or through anywhere cheaply when you're flying out of Cote d'Ivoire. But that's only good if you fly, if you plan to spend time in Cote d'Ivoire, because flight to Cote d'Ivoire right now from Nigeria is about $700. So that would not make sense if you don't have any other plans in Cote d'Ivoire and you're just planning to travel or to fly out of Cote d'Ivoire solely for this purpose. So this is the real situation. Just want to bring your attention to it. And if you're planning to fly into Nigeria or fly out of Nigeria, it's either you buy a round trip ticket or you plan to fly through another African country. So this is the situation. I just want to bring your attention to it. Also, if you want to look at other videos where I talk about living in Nigeria, living in other places, check out the links in my description or check out the playlist, which I'll leave in the cards here. And also, if you are thinking of getting your travel insurance, I use Safety Wing. That is what I use when I travel anywhere. Safety Wing is really useful for me. It's been for a long time. And also my Revolut card, which is my international card that I use when I go to places. You can check that out in the description as well. Anyways, my name is Daniel, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out from Lagos, Nigeria.